it's like I want to make a change. As like a female entrepreneur, I don't really like calling myself entrepreneur, but I want to change the status quo. I want to help people, challenge myself and help. Because I did get...
And I'm Jiguur. Here is Ganjina, and this beautiful woman is from Tajikistan, and we are participating in the same accelerator program but different batches. I'm batch number 1 and she's
batch number
2, and the company is named Planet 9. So
yes.
Yeah, and please introduce yourself to your
Sure. Hello, everybody. This is kind of interesting because I'm doing this for the first time, but let's see how it goes. My name is Ganjina. I am from Tajikistan. Should I get into like background or just what I'm doing now?
Anything could be possible.
Anything. Okay.
Yeah, to start from what are you doing here? Yeah.
What am I doing here? Okay. So we are currently in the second batch of Google for Startups Accelerator. The project that I'm working now is Planet 9, which is a FinTech. So basically I am creating a Neobank, first Neobank in Tajikistan with an AI tech stack that provides instant loans to people who don't have a credit history. Mm-hmm. So that's the main thing that I'm working right now.
Yeah, that's perfect. What is Neobank?
So basically, in like a very easy words, this is like a digital online banking where we are making everything digital, just like through your phone or through online. You don't have to go to bank branches. Mm-hmm. You don't, like, even if you want to get a loan, it's just you go through our system, which takes 3 minutes. You upload your photo to our system. You answer a couple of questions. Done. If it's approved, you just get a loan to your card. Mm-hmm. So it's basically we're making the process way more easier.
Mm-hmm. Basically, it's like the bank has no branch, right?
No branches. Yes.
Totally no branch.
And the main vision for this is I want to create a first AI neobank in the world, which is going to be basically everything AI based. Mm-hmm. I don't know how long it will take me, but no people, no branches, nothing. Mm-hmm. But as of now, no branches.
Okay. Is there any banks, any neobanks in the world? Could you tell 1 or 2 examples for it?
Revolut, for example, but they don't really give loans, but everything is digital. So you can just send money or receive money. So what we're doing is if you, for example, go to some store or if you are in need of money and you don't have time to go to like bank, for example, or you don't have enough documents to get a loan, you just upload your photo and answer 5 to 6 questions about yourself, like how old are you, where do you work, your salary, and then you just, if it's approved, you just get a loan instantly to your phone number, like to your phone, mm-hmm. to your wallet. Mm-hmm. So that's the process right now.
Uh-huh. So there are so many services from bank, loans, savings, and etc. Which service are you going to start?
As of now, the main focus is loan and deposit. So if, for example, you if you need a loan, we will be providing it. But as of now, we're working on the loan product. Mm-hmm. And in a bit, if the loan product goes well, we will be starting deposit as well, getting money from people and returning it back with the higher percentage.
Mm-hmm. The main customers are from retail, non-business.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yes, if you're 18 or older than 18 years old, you're our customer.
Okay, so we'll cover it more later. So tell me about your background.
My background. So I come from a very tiny city, Hujant in Tajikistan. I graduated from Physical Mathematical Lyceum. Mm-hmm. I went to Physical Mathematical Lyceum in Tajikistan. After graduating high school there, I got accepted to New York University, where I was the first Tajik student actually to be accepted in the history of NYU, to be the first Tajik girl and to receive a full scholarship to to pursue my undergraduate studies. Then, I was the youngest one and I was the first one. I left Tajikistan when I was 15 years old to pursue my undergraduate studies, moved to Abu Dhabi, studied there for 4 years, did a lot internships, projects, researches, and then moved to Dubai. I graduated a year ago, then moved to Dubai to work there, and I was working in one of the leading edtech startups in Dubai, and moved back home to Tajikistan a couple of months ago to actually start working on Planet 9, my startup.
So when did you found?
Planet 9?
Yeah.
The idea I had was actually a year ago, but since it was like graduation, I didn't really have time to focus on it. But when I got a job in Dubai and I worked there for half a year, then I figured that things that I'm doing, I'm not really enjoying it. So let me challenge myself. And then I moved to Tajikistan a couple of months ago and started working on it basically a couple of months ago. So it's like a very new baby startup that is growing right now.
How is it going?
Time flies so fast. It's just, I remember when I first came here, Alisher, our mentor.
So he said, don't call me a mentor, Asher or tracker.
Tracker. I don't know. I just call him mentor all the time, and I'm like, okay. When I came here, he did not like the idea of me starting in Tajikistan. And we had a bit of drama at the beginning. And then I thought that the vision that I was working, that I dreamed of for a long time, is just going to be changed in 1 hour after talking to him. And then the main problem is that to open a Neobank in Tajikistan, you need to have a license, which I don't have as of now. And since we're in this accelerator program, you have to show results every week. As our tracker says, we have to earn money. But because
Three
of the
things, different pressures.
Yes. I don't have a license. I can't start work in Tajikistan. And I was lost. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then he suggests me to move outside of Tajikistan. But I'm like, this is my vision. How can I change my dream? What we did starting from the second week is we started doing research in Ghana, since it's not really regulated.
In Africa?
In Africa, yes. And moving from Tajikistan, when you know the market, right away I was jumping to Ghana, which was a very big change for me. And when we moved to Ghana, we started doing research with my product manager, who is currently here. And what we figured is, after doing customer development, after doing research, what we figured is people get a loan, the amount of loan they get is $10 to $20.
Just spare money.
Yeah. And since the risks are very high, collection would be very high. After doing research for a week or two, we realized that Ghana is not our market. And I was able to stand out to actually tell our tracker that this is not going on, and I'm focusing in Tajikistan. And right now, after 4th week of struggles and fights, we are going back to Tajikistan, and we're starting our work even though we don't have a license. So as of now, what we're doing is buy now, pay later, BNPL, with basically you give money to, we will be partnering with merchants and giving money to clients if they want to buy something. So it doesn't really count as a loan.
Yeah. So is there any BNPL service in Tajikistan currently?
We do. It's not BNPL because they do get interest rates. So for BNPL, it's kind of different. You work with merchants and you get the rate from merchants. But we do have, I would say the main competitor that I have in Tajikistan is Alif and Eskhata Bank.
The big banks, big commerce banks.
Yes. But they do get interest rates, and from clients, interest rate is 30%. This is
so huge. So big.
Huge, yes. And what I will be doing is I'm not going to get any interest rates from clients. I will be working only with merchants to make the client's life way more easier. And everything is going to be digital. So, for example, just to explain it in an easy way, you're a company. You have a store, I'm a client, I come to you, I'm like, oh, I want to get iPhone. but iPhone is so expensive that I can't afford it right now. So I come to you and I'm like, can I get it for 3 months? You say, yes, there is Planet 9, our partner. And then I'm like, okay, I pay to you 25% and the rest I will be paying during that 3 months period with no interest rates, nothing, to make kind of easier
for this
people.
This path. There's no license for now in Tajikistan.
As of BNPL, there is no license. I only need to open LLC. So finally, after 4 weeks, we figured out how we can start work and get the product going, get like the process going.
But running this kind of business, there is no need for branches, right? Still Neobank, right?
We are still doing everything online. Yes. So we have a scoring system, which is online. You basically answer a couple of questions, and the AI tells you if it's approved or not. Still online. We're still talking to people online. Everything, no branches. As of now, it's like me and my product manager.
Okay. So currently, there's two people in your team. You and your product manager.
My product manager.
And co-founder as well.
Yeah, and we do have interns back home, but as of now, I'm the one, or my product manager is the one who is working on website, who is talking to people, who is doing design. So yeah.
Have you attracted any kind of investments right now?
I am in the process of getting investors,
From whom?
Angel investors in Tajikistan, and I'm looking for investors in Dubai as well, outside of Tajikistan. So we're in the process of it right now.
So how do you manage your cash flow? So is there any expenses? Of course there is an expense. So tell me in more detail.
As of now, the main expenses that we're spending would be building a website, doing marketing, getting people. But I think for us, it's kind of easier, and we're not spending too much on marketing since we know the market in Tajikistan, and word of mouth is very easy to go. So it's like if you know one person, you're like, oh, I'm doing this, and the word of mouth is going to start. So basically, that's a free advertisement for you and for your company. That's what we're doing, and we're basically sending our interns to bazaars, to markets outside, to talk to people, to explain them the idea. Because even if you do advertisement, it's hard for people in Tajikistan to understand what you're doing, or about buy now, pay later, for example. So what we figured, it will take some time for us to get the trust of people, but what we figured is it's going to be way more easier if we just send our interns outside to talk to people, to get their trust, and the word of mouth is going to start like that.
So when are you planning to launch this product in Tajikistan?
This week.
This week?
So the thing is that since we have to show results, the buy now, pay later, as of the results we have to show until next Sunday is to sell 10 iPhones to people to get the GMV of $10,000.
Okay.
So the product itself, the website or the mobile application is not ready, but we do have the system, we do have money as of now, and we are just starting with it. Starting with minimum, but starting somehow.
Yeah, sure, it is. How do you think about the solving chicken egg problem? I've interviewed so many people, and so they're all struggling with this chicken egg problems. What's your idea?
I don't know the answer. I don't know how to answer. Or let me start with the background. I am really new into this. Even our checker, Al-Shar, was like, you don't have any idea about banking. Why are you doing Neobank? And I'm like, you have to challenge yourself. Even if you don't know something, work on it. It doesn't mean that if I don't know something about banking, it's going to stop me from achieving my goals. And
crazy situation. The acceleration means that everything is mixing, grinding.
Yeah, and it's so... to be honest, I was not expecting it to be that intense, or that you have to show results every week, or that you have to do something. I was like, okay, I have my product. I will be just working on launching a mobile application for 12 weeks, or working on like doing design thinking interviews of customers. And then, for 12 weeks. But as of now, it's just, I'm learning so many new things every single moment. And at the same time, fighting my fears and fighting my anxiety to learn something new. So there is so much pressure, but at the same time, worse knowing that there's going to be some like bright stuff at the end. You know what I mean? So,
Do you enjoy it in this path?
I would say I love challenging myself. So I do enjoy it, even though it's very hard to kind of like overcome your fears, or to go and present and you just stand there and your tracker just shouts at you, saying that, what are you doing? This is the whole wrong idea, or do something new. Failures. But it's like, I would say I'm enjoying because I'm learning new stuff.
What tools are you using, increasing your productivity and so team collaboration?
We are using a Notion application. I'm not sure if you know it or not, but basically we write there all of our to-do lists, or even with like, we write there every single note that we take during the meeting. If, for example, I'm not in the meeting and my product is in there, she takes notes for me to get back to them. So Notion and Google Calendar. Those are the two things that we use 24/7 in our minds. Because in Notion, you can just do to-do list, in progress, done. So that's how we kind of like track our progress.
So far, what is the most difficult challenge that you experienced, and how did you solve, and are you solving it?
I think the difficult challenge is in myself, I would say, not in regards to my business, but in myself as well. Because to get more personal, I do struggle with anxiety, and I have kind of like a fear of presenting in public, or fear of talking to people. I'm more like an introvert person, and coming here, it was very hard to talk to people or fight your fears, and I'm scared of failures. And I think I am overcoming. Even coming here to this podcast, I was like,
how did you accept it?
That's the thing. I think during the first day that I came here, I had a bit of drama with our tracker, and I would say that was a failure for me, the biggest failure, and it was very hard. But after talking to him, the communication helped me, and I found out that there is so much more to explore, but my fears are stopping me, or my anxiety is stopping me, especially for youth. For Gen Z, I think everyone struggles with mental health and everyone struggles with anxiety, and their fear of doing something really stops them to explore the world. But I was like, even if I fail, or even if I don't know something, I should go for it. It shouldn't like stop me. And I was like, okay, let me try. That's why I'm here talking to you, or even like talking to our tracker. It's just like, if I fail, is it going to change something? No. So why wouldn't I just go for it? And accept the fear, accept something that I don't know, accept that I have a fear, but still go for it.
That's true. Yeah.
So
And about your co-founder, are you friends?
Yes, we actually met a couple of years ago with one of the co-founders. I was interning in their startup. They had an educational startup where they help students to get into universities. And since I was the first student to be accepted to NYU, I knew the process. I was like, okay, let me do internship. And starting from my internship, we kind of like started to become friends. And that's how everything started.
Suddenly, so okay, let's do something new.
I'm
joining.
My co-founder, he knows that I love challenging myself, even though I'm scared of doing something, but I love challenging myself. And he knows that I love taking risks. He really liked this idea. So we're like, why don't we try it? Why don't we knew the problem that was happening in Tajikistan, and we were like, why don't we try to solve it? So that's why I'm here, to kind of like get advice from our trackers, from even other people, even other startuppers in this batch. I am learning so much from them and getting so much advice that I didn't even know I would take it. So yeah.
I still remember, what is the most important advice, the learnings from the other batch guys?
I think I am learning a lot of stuff in business related things, finance, even though I'm new to it. And it's okay to ask for help, and it's totally fine. Literally take them and go for a walk or coffee chat. You're gonna learn so much from their experience, what they did, their failures, how they overcame it, or they give you some tips. This BNPL, for example, I was so lost that, oh my God, I don't have a license. I can't start work in Tajikistan. But after having a coffee chat with one of the startuppers from my batch, he recommended me to try out BNPL. I did not even have an idea of starting BNPL in Tajikistan. But after a half an hour coffee chat, I'm doing it. So it's like, go and talk to them. Go and explore some stuff.
Just make the first step. Yeah.
Make the first move, and become friends. And that's so easy.
Sure. So you said Tajikistan so many times. So tell me about your country.
My country. I love my country. I especially love food in there. Very delicious, amazing fruits. My country is very mountains. 93% of my country are mountains. And I'm not sure about Mongolia.
Not 93.
Okay. So it's basically we're surrounded by mountains, and it's a developing country. Everyone is starting to open their startups, to open their business. In regards to people, everyone is very friendly. In regards to food is very yum. But the only negative side, I would say, corruption. I mean, probably it's everywhere, but I think the corruption is stopping people from seeing progress in their businesses. I mean, even like for the license, for example, I have to have $500,000 in my account in order to be able to get the license. In order to do that, I need to find investors. In order to find investors, I have to have a product going on. So I think that's what's stopping most of the startuppers to grow. But yeah, other than that, Tajikistan is amazing. Visit.
Yeah, so far, there's only one big city or two more.
Yeah, so Dushanbe is the capital, and Hujant, I think,
actively operating startups.
I'm not sure about the numbers, but I think the startup life kind of began, like people started working on it a couple of years ago, like a year or even 2 years ago. And right now, we are starting to have more accelerators, we are starting to have more angel investors, and we're starting to have people who studied abroad, who studied like me, who studied abroad and coming back home and starting their own startups. So I think the startup kind of like ecosystem is growing right now.
Right now, starting from this year, maybe last year.
Last year, I would say. Okay. But yeah.
Who is the sexy startup?
I would say we have Somon TG, which is something similar to Shopify, and Alif, who is my competitor as of now. Alif is basically making everything digital, e-wallets, where you just go to supermarket, scan the QR code and pay. We didn't have all of this like a couple of years ago. So everything is starting to grow. So yeah, hopefully Planet 9 will work well in Tajikistan.
Sexiest.
Yeah, that's going to be number one.
About the old people, traditional, do they use the products that built by young guys, young startup guys? For example, your competitor, do they use?
So the thing is that older generation people, they are not really used to use like digital stuff, phones and stuff. It's easier for them just to call and ask rather than chat with a bot, for example. So right now, the main people of even Alif are Generation Z. Even my people would be Generation Z as of now, or millennials. But like for my grandparents, for example, I would say they don't use this kind of stuff.
Is there any super app in your country?
Super application?
Yes.
I would say Alif application.
Alif. So how many customers do they have?
They have around 1 million users.
Oh, that's big. That's huge.
Yeah. I think that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Alif. That's why we have to kill them.
Do you know their valuation right now? So, and investment-wise?
I am not sure, but yeah, I'm not sure about their valuation. But they started their work in Tajikistan and they're expanding in Uzbekistan right now.
Okay, Uzbekistan is the big market, right?
Uzbekistan is huge, yeah.
What is like Tajik young people dream?
Tajik, especially students, since we do have problems with the education system in Tajikistan. And I think I used to teach the admission process to students. I was mentoring them. So I think the main problem they have is everyone wants to leave and study abroad, get the education, get the knowledge, and then come back. So as of today, their main goal is to get ready to study in universities abroad. And I don't think they have a long term. The short term goal would be just to go and study abroad. So yeah.
And after that, to work in a big company.
To work in the big company, to earn a lot of money. But what about making impact? What about like changing your own country? So yeah, that's why a lot of people leave, and I would say the low percentage come back and work on their startups. So it's better they think that I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna earn a lot of money. So yeah, but people are coming back. People are like opening their startups and stuff, and the corruption is getting better, less. So yes, but I think the main thing that they have in their mind is just to study abroad in like amazing universities, Ivy League universities, because they think that they will have a bright future with that. So yeah.
Why did you come back?
I mean, I studied abroad. I mean, I left Tajikistan when I was 15, and I'm 21 now. And I traveled the world. I explored the world. I did get the education, very good education. I worked in Dubai, but still, my family is in Tajikistan. My whole soul is in Tajikistan. It's my culture, and it's like I want to make a change. As like a female entrepreneur, I don't really like calling myself entrepreneur, but I want to change the status quo. I want to help people, challenge myself and help, because I did get a good opportunity to study abroad, and other people, they don't really have it. So let's give it back to people.
Sure. So about your idea, how did come up your idea?
I think after like struggling a lot with like digital payments, or after hearing stories of people that they don't have, like they couldn't get a loan, for example. If you don't have a credit history, you can't get a loan. Or after even my family, for example, my brother-in-law wanted to get a loan once, but he didn't have a credit history. Or my uncle wanted to get a loan once, but he was just running from one side to another to collect all those documents. So it's like you see all those problems and you are like, we gotta come up with something, with like a solution. And we are partnering with Zippo, and since we have that scoring, why not we use it and make something more impactful and more big? So we combine this both, and Planet 9 happened.
Is lending loan is so popular in Tajikistan, right?
It is very popular, but it's so hard to get. It takes from 3 to 5 days.
And so many documents.
So many documents,
passports,
everything, and you have to stay in line. You have to like miss your work, for example, to go to the bank, to stay in line for hours and hours. And at the end, you just either hear yes or either hear rejection because, sorry, bank didn't approve. But imagine so much stress at the end hearing no. So why don't we just automate everything? Why don't we simplify everything for a client to just not focus, to not spend their life on like running from one side to another to collect documents? Why don't we just do it in 3 minutes when we have a system?
Do you have any idea about the average money that the people lending?
People usually get from $500 around like that. But it's like if you have a family, their education, I mean, for food, of course, it's not going to be enough. Or to renovate your home, that's not going to be enough. So people do need it. But like if they're rejected, what they do, they don't have a solution for this. So, yeah.
And about the education and university and high schools, is it paid or we have to pay to study?
We do have a paid one, but for Tajiks, we do have universities who are for free.
Is
But
it
the
very good?
that's the problem. It's not good. The education system is not that good, and it's really corrupted. That's why every single student who knows English, or even who doesn't know and who are in the process of learning, they want to leave and get the good education. Because teacher's salary, they're not enough. Of course, there's going to be corruption and all those stuff. That's why. But overall, the education system is lacking.
About the English, so how do you guys learn English?
So our second language is Russian.
Yes.
But for me, I started learning English when I was a kid. Since my sister knows English, or my brother, and I think it was just like a family-wise that my second language became English instead of Russian. But for other people, it's really hard, and they start learning English around grade 9 or grade 10, but it's still lacking. So I think they improve their English when they just leave Tajikistan and when they start their undergrad. But I would say not a lot of people know English in Tajikistan. So yeah, it's like a basic English.
Yeah, sure. And about the Russians, I wonder, do the people using Russian in everyday life or Tajik language?
Yes. So as of now, in the capital, I would say only Gen Z uses Russian. But other people, everyone talks in Tajik. So when they start learning Russian, if they only go to Russian school, then they just start talking in Russian. But if they go to Tajik school, the Russian is like you study 2-3 hours a week. That's still not enough. So it's like either if you have a Russian classmate, you practice your Russian with them, or it's just, you don't.
So for you, what language do you think your mindset inside?
I think before leaving, before going to university, it was Tajik. I was starting to think in English. And as of now, it's like only English. Only English comes to my mind. And even when I talk to my family or friends, English words come to my mind. And it's hard to jump from one language to another. When you're kind of like bilingual, you're like, because I went to Russian school as well when I was until grade 6, I used to study in Russian school. So it's like a mix of 3 languages at the same time. And then I moved to Tajik, Turkish school, and then I studied in Turkish school. And it was so many languages. And even now, when I talk to people in Tajikistan, whenever I talk to them on Tajik, or I just use English words, and they're like, what's going on? So as of now, I feel way more comfortable in English.
Yeah, sure. So what are your future plans?
Before coming here, or before even working on my startup, the thing I was thinking about was I'm going to work in Dubai for a couple of years, then going to move to Italy to do my master's in business. And then I'm just going to open a tiny coffee shop in Italy somewhere. And that's how am I going to leave. But after starting to work on my startup idea, I think my future plans have changed completely. I moved to Tajikistan. I started working on this, and as I'm here, it's becoming my baby, I would say, that it's just with you 24/7. You sleep with this idea, you wake up with this idea, and you're like, oh my God, how can I improve it? How can I make it better? As of now, the dream that I have of every single startup is to make it a unicorn. But I love challenging and I love taking risks. So I don't think I have a specific future plan, I would say.
Yeah, sure. Of course, we should graduate this batch, right?
Yeah.
Second batch.
To work on it, to, of course, benefit people. So people get benefit from Planet 9. And after that, in regards to myself, I will definitely go and do masters and still be working on my baby Planet 9. If I will be able to fight my fears and my anxiety, I am ready to conquer the world.
You might have made so many smart guys. What is the most important advice did you get from someone?
Everybody makes mistakes. And I think a couple of years ago, my professor told me that everybody makes mistakes. And that phrase is in my mind all the time, that whenever I make mistakes, it's totally fine. And yeah, everybody fails, but don't be scared of it, and just learn from your mistakes and think how you can make it better, I guess. He was my psychology professor at university who actually made a huge impact in me. And I would say even our tracker here is making a huge impact in me that I didn't know that would happen.
Yeah, sometimes we fight and sometimes we've done it. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how it went.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was pretty cool. First time doing podcast. It's fun. I like it.
Yeah. Do you have any message to the Mongolian audience who's watching this video? The mostly Mongolian guys watching it.
Students, right? Youngsters?
Yeah, youngsters.
Yeah, youngsters. I would say challenge yourself. Do study abroad, but come back to your home country to help other people. But at the same time, enjoy what you are doing. Make mistakes, but don't regret them. Especially youngsters, fight your fears, stop overthinking, and just work on yourself. Learn a lot of stuff, explore the world.
And also go to Tajikistan.
Yes! Tajikistan should be on your bucket list, guys.
Okay, guys, see you in Tajikistan.
Yes, I'm gonna be there to meet every single of you.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that's that, and we have had another great interview in this Startups Accelerator. So you are the maybe 7th or 8th
Ooh, that's cool.
guests. Yeah, let's meet on the another meeting. So yeah.
Yes,
Bye,
that
guys.
should be cool.
Bye, guys.